Hello, welcome to the Art of the Oracle. Today we are going to use Crow Tarot, and then we have the Journey by Allison, Filice, really fun deck, as well as these beautiful medicine cards. If you're looking for a really wonderful deck, I feel like it's just a classic, and no matter what else you put in your deck, I have no affiliation with them whatsoever. It was my very first Oracle deck, I think. And yeah, it's a wonderful, deep, rich, insightful look at, yeah, the beauty of the animals and the magic that they bring. So the first thing that they offer is these numbers, and 22 is a divine number. This is around bringing something back into right relationship is really what I'm feeling. And Beaver is the builder. Beaver, so it's asking you to bring something back into right relationship, to create something. And I'm also reminded that Beaver creates a space that has a front door and a back door. Like he always leaves an escape route, so to speak. But it's not really an escape route. It's if something happens, like if the dam falls, because they're always on a river and everything's moving and flowing. And although things are created with great care and something that's very, very stable, if you reduce this number, which you normally don't reduce these double numbers, but if you did, it would be 4 around stability. And so that's what the Beaver is bringing in, right? It's this resourcefulness, it's the stability. It's not being afraid to take water and earth, right? They're bringing the two together to live within these elements. And I have heard stories about Beaver, you know, creating these really, really, I'm trying to bring a little bit more light in here, creating like these new ecosystems. Like some people don't like Beaver, and some people bring Beaver in to like repopulate areas that need the natural hand, the intuitive hand. And that's what I think Beaver brings. Beaver brings in this intuitive hand. It's like the perfect relationship between masculine and feminine that comes into, you know, do what he does. Yeah, and he is called the builder. So it said, it may be time to put your ideas into action or to complete a project that has been neglected. The Beaver card could also be asking you to settle differences. If there are differences between, I wouldn't have expected, I went to the guidebook, but I wouldn't have expected that, right? The differences. But because he's a builder, he wants, you know, he creates the right relationship, being in the flow of the water, right? The water is our emotional energy. It's the fluid side. It's the feminine side. And it doesn't like to be contained because it almost always finds its way around whatever containment that it's held in. And Beaver knows that. So it, you know, intuitively puts its hand into the water, tail, whatever you want to say. It creates within the environment because he knows the environment and he's not afraid to work with the environment. So I think that that's part of, you know, I just kind of had a little aha moment, like we're being asked to work within this environment that's been created around us and putting a softer hand into it. Again, we have abundance, right? We had abundance, and I think it was the first day or the second day. Yeah. So there's an abundance of opportunities, ideas, resources. There's so much magic in the world. It's just this whole like system of our phones and the things that kind of limit us into not seeing the expansiveness of the natural world. You know, I think it was last month, I got the message, a very beautiful message, where I felt like the earth was saying, you know, what you put your attention on is what grows. What do you want to grow? If it's your phone and AI centers and things like that, well, that is what's happening. So we have Justice, card number 11. So this is 1-1, this is 2-2. You can see where this is going. This is a divine opportunity for creation and balance. That's what I'm feeling with the Justice card. Again, we have 2 coming back in. And if you were to reduce the 11, it would go into 2. And the card 2 is all about balance. It's about knowing that you can bring balance. And if you look at this looks really big, right? And typically when this card comes out, like justice is a major arcana, saying there's a major shift point. There's something coming back into balance in our natural world, which is creating abundance for everyone. These limiting things around, the way a few people are, some people say dark energy, how that has been manipulated to only work in an environment. I feel like we've been going to this space because we needed to go to the space. We needed to go into this AI world to show us it's not really what we want, that to bring us back into our abundant nature of what the resources that are around us bring us. So there's a balancing, which I feel like is right here in the center for a reason. And then we have 2 and 1. And we had that yesterday. It's like a countdown to something. Like we are going back into this area where because there's so much outward noise, we're being asked to go inward or to step into nature. Things that are calmer, things that aren't being manipulated. Things like, it's so hard to know what's real in the technical world. And the Ace of Swords brings about new ideas and new ways of looking at something. Swords is a fast-moving energy, and it represents the wind, the movement. If you've ever been in the heat and a big, beautiful breeze comes, it's like a new idea, right? It's so needed and so appreciated. And that's what I feel like this moment is all about, is that something new is being born out of our desire for our lives to be easier, which is probably where the AI all came into being. But it's like we need a balancing of both. Okay, I was asking for, final messages here. We have the King of Cups, which there's a lot of. Oh, we have 2 kings here. So we had a lot of cups energy yesterday. And what we have is this excuse me, this energy of movement, starting with the swords, like a new idea, a new way of being, a new way of taking that intuitive energy and putting it into motion. You can see here the balancing. It's like all these major things are being brought into right relationship with the King of Wands. And then of course it's asking us to get into a grounded state and know what the environment is and what our resources are, and respect the environment. It's not about, the beaver doesn't conquer his environment. He respects the environment, uses what he has around him, and creates a space that's working with all. He doesn't work against the nature around him. He utilizes it and works within it. So he becomes in right relationship with the world, which is what I think that's what this time is asking of us. So as we bring something together and notice the abundance of where we are, like things that aren't working, just let it go. The more we focus on the things that aren't working, the more we get those things that aren't working into our world. So it's asking us to balance. Something is coming back into right relationship. Something is coming back into balance, which is why these 2 cards are together. And it's bringing us a new breath of fresh air. And with that, this king energy, it's the masculine side of intuitiveness. It's being able to take the intuition and to work within it and to bring the energy needed to create a beautiful container that works for all. So thank you so much for joining me here at the channel. I hope you enjoyed the message. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section. And if you like what you saw, give it a thumbs up. I look forward to reading for you again tomorrow. And I hope you have an amazing week. Bye now.